Welcome everyone to Winning in the Shadows. 80 Jim and Corbin. We're going to go over the Thanksgiving games and the Black Friday games. So we're going to cover 4 games in this video. Before we get into that, Jim and I are getting ready for Thanksgiving. And Corbin, what did you say to us last night?
I don't remember.
Don't you guys have like some
something.
holiday or something
Oh, yeah.
coming up? I always forget about.
Mhm.
Yeah, we don't do anything like that.
Only
over
the
here,
best holiday
so.
of the year.
I mean, it's
Food, football.
It truly is a one of a kind holiday, Corbin. You really are missing out. There's family arguments. There's awkwardness. There's sometimes the food's great. Sometimes it's awful. Inevitably, there's families that'll host that have no idea that football is a big part of the day. So the guys are trying to figure out how do we get them to turn on the damn TV. There's the get off your phone, and it's like I don't talk to these people except twice a year. So it's a mess. The booze starts flowing. Arguments will come up. There's always a political discussion that turns into
Great.
It's everything.
It's beautiful. It's glorious.
It's a beautiful thing. It's the United States in a nutshell. I would just
the inevitable National Lampoon's Christmas video has to go on.
Yeah,
right?
you truly are missing out on the Thanksgiving experience, Corbin. So, all right, so we're gonna get into it here. Welcome everyone. We're gonna go over Thanksgiving games and the Black Friday game. You guys know what to do. Hit the like button. Leave us a comment in the comment section. If you do not have a great comment or a hot take or anything, as always, we'll give you a little code word here. So the code word is SMART, SMART. Just type that in the comment section. It boosts the algorithm, helps us rank a little bit better. So, weather report. My family is from this area up here. It's a different level of cold up there. That wind, when it's whipping off the lake, is just absolutely brutal. They say it's going to feel like 20. It's going to feel like 10. It's going to be absolutely miserable for Miami. That's my prediction. Buffalo, keep your eyes on Buffalo before you play anything, and just wait until right before the game. That looks like the biggest one. We always trust roto grinders. They're always pretty spot on with the weather. So they're saying it looks a little bit over exaggerated, but there's going to be some weather there. And then Pittsburgh at Cincinnati. It's that time of year. It's going to be pretty cold there. So we just real quick, guys, before we get into the games, Thanksgiving, $69 for a 7-day special. No promo code needed. It gets you all plays for us for the next 7 days. We have NBA. We have Friday college football play. We have PFL championships. It's a great time to grab that. There's no promo code needed. Just go to the Wager Talk page, wt.buzz/AL, my profile page, and grab that. All right, let's get into it. Let's start with the passing props here. Jim, I'll come to you first. Jared Goff, Caleb Williams. I guess we should mention David Montgomery is nursing an injury, and Amon-Ra St. Brown is nursing some kind of injury. It does look like they both will play. Does this have an effect on passing props, or what do you like in this one?
Well, I think one of the big effects as well is that Carlton Davis is looking like he's going to be out for the Lions. So we need confirmation on these injuries first before we can play any totals. I've actually kind of like the Caleb over 228. I don't see them pounding the ball down the Lions. And if we get Davis out for the Lions, I think Caleb can have some success. Am I going to be putting my money on Caleb Williams? Most certainly not. He's the most sacked quarterback this year with 44 sacks.
Wow.
I just can't play it by any means. Just going to wait and see on these passing props till these injuries come out. Maybe I'll find my way into something.
Corbin, you like any of these passing props?
I'm on the Caleb Williams one. So obviously the Lions are at home. I think the Lions are going to have no problem scoring, quite honestly, here, which is inevitably going to mean that Caleb is going to have to throw. I'm not convinced in their running game in the slightest, and he's gone over in back-to-back weeks quite emphatically. His confidence is quite high, even though coming off the losses. So I think he could have a good game. It's one I'm going to wait to play live. I quite like the pass attempts. It's at 33.5, but I want it nearer the 30 mark. So I might try and hope that Lions get the possession and score, and then suddenly, even though they've scored, the number will still come down on Caleb, even though he hasn't touched the ball or had a possession yet. So that's where I'm looking.
Okay. All right. We're gonna move to the Giants at the Cowboys. I don't see any passing props uh for Tommy Cutlets, but Jim, I'll go to you here. What's your take on old Tommy boy here?
Well, Tommy, how many games did Tommy play last year? Everybody, anybody know?
What he played? Four, three or
9
four?
games. 9 games.
Nice.
He played in 9 games.
9
Oh
games
my
played.
God.
Okay, so 9 games played. How many times was Tommy sacked in 9 games?
Oh, I remember this. Was it like 50 something or 40 something?
No, not that crazy, but 37. That's still pretty
Wow.
Almost
crazy
40.
in 9 games. 37 sacks. Here's the bottom line with this guy. If the first read's not there, he takes off and runs. Tries to. The problem is when he runs, he's one of the most indecisive runners I've ever seen. And it just leads to sacks. So I really want no part of his passing total. I'll look at his rushing total. I think Micah Parsons makes his life an absolute living hell in this game. He's going to be all over him. They have the Giants have nobody, even though the offensive line was improved. It was improved with Daniel Jones at quarterback. And I don't care what anybody says, Daniel Jones is better than Tommy DeVito. Okay, let's just lay that out there. Tommy's going to make the wrong decision. So I think he's going to be under duress. I'd be looking at his interception prop as well. I don't know about this Cooper Rush 207. He's coming off the game where he just let it fly. I think this is more of a rushing attack this game.
Can I? I just want to jump in. I don't. It's not really a passing prop, but I'm going to do it whilst we're in this section because Jim just touched on it. I was looking at the Cowboys over 3.5 sacks. 3.5 sacks, given
Most
what you
certainly.
just said,
Most
sounds
certainly.
pretty good, and it's plus money. So I don't know which books in the US have it. I think Bovada does, but yeah, that's Cowboys over 3.5 sacks to piggyback off what Jim was just
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah, I
So
wouldn't be shocked to see 4 or 5. You had
I'll
4 last week.
yeah, I'll happily take this over 207. Jim, you and I watched watched that Bucks Giants game because we had a bet on it.
Mhm.
If the Bucks did whatever they wanted against the Giants, that Giants defense looked like thrown in the towel. They're going on the road on Thanksgiving on a short week. This just feels like a miserable spot. And yeah, the last 2 weeks, Cooper Rush 354 and 247. This is a really, really low number. We'll get to the rushing props. I think we all kind of like Rico Dowdle, but yeah, I'm not playing the under on that. I'm just kind of trying to figure out where they came up with this number at 207. It's an odd number. I thought it would be in the 220s or 230s for 4. Cooper Rush has completed 32 and 24 passes the last couple weeks. So yeah, I think I like this one. Certainly not taking the under on it. Let's move to the Dolphins and the Packers. I will go first in this one because I have to talk about Tua playing in cold weather. So I researched this. He's 8-3 to the under on this total in his career. When he's on the road in November, December, and January, he's 2-0 to the under on road games this season. Corbin, your Packers have done a great job defending the pass. They're 11th best in the pass defense, 5th best the last 3 games, and the weather is just going to be absolutely miserable. I don't think this is a hard game for the Packers to defend. I don't think they need to worry about Tua throwing a long ball in this weather. It's just going to be it's going to be miserable. So I'll gladly take Tua under. Corbin.
yeah, I share your sentiment. I was looking at Jordan Love to throw an interception. He's gone over in every game except versus the 49ers last week, where he only had to throw 23 times. I think this is one of those bounce back interception spots where it didn't hit last week, so there's a high chance. I think he's going to have to throw the ball more than 23 times versus the Dolphins, quite honestly. And at that price, I'll keep playing it. I know the weather and all of that stuff, but I think we're still going to have to throw. I think Miami can still put up points against us. So,
Jim?
I want absolutely nothing to do with any overs in the Miami game passing wise. If anything, I would be looking probably at a turnover for Tua. It's just this cold weather, like you said, it's not the same team. And I know it's fairly of a public and a narrative play is to fade Miami in cold weather, but the numbers kind of don't lie. Again, with Tua, it just doesn't look right, does it?
No.
It feels bad saying it, but it just doesn't look right. I know Waddle had the big game last week, but against this passing defense for Green Bay, I think this could be a little ugly for the Dolphins.
I was listening to a podcast. They said Waddle's got more 100-yard games than Tyreek does this year.
Mm-hmm.
This is just a weird year for Miami all around. So, all right, Friday game: Patrick Mahomes versus Aiden O'Connell. Rivalry renewed. No, I'm kidding. Uh, I don't know. I actually almost might lean Patrick Mahomes under because I just don't think they're going to need to throw a ton against this team. I'll be honest. I'm not playing either of these passing props, Jim.
Oh, Aiden O'Connell, you're not our guy. You are our guy. You're not our guy. I love organizations that do this. This is so silly. It's just so silly. I mean, what do you feel if you're him? Are you mad? Are you excited? Or are you just like,
no?
All right. It's like a girlfriend wanting you back after you've broken up 3 times. Like, you're really excited to get back together the 3rd time.
Here's the thing. At this point, I really truly believe this. You have quarterbacks that are trying to win, that are trying to cement their legacy and trying to advance their team. And then you have quarterbacks that are literally like, this is my job. I'm playing for a contract. Aiden O'Connell is going out there to try, and this is his job. He's trying to audition for a team and make sure that he has a team to play for next year. I don't know what that means, but I'm pretty sure that's what. And Daniel Jones is the same thing. It's like, just give me a backup role. I'm just trying to survive and be on a team. That's what Aiden O'Connell is doing in here. I don't know how it helps mentally or if it helps, but I'm pretty sure that's just what the mindset is. Like, we talk about 2 quarterbacks and different mindsets going into a game. So bizarre. What do you think? Are you going over, Jim?
I look, are they going to run the ball in the Chiefs defense?
No way.
Hell no. Hell no. Okay. So if you like some piece of offensive output for the Raiders, it's going to come in the passing game. They do have something with Brock Bowers going on with this rookie record. So you're looking at something that could galvanize an offense. I could see them throwing a lot to him, which is going to help Aiden with this low number. Oh, you're right. I want no part of Mahomes 250.
No, that's an insane number. I know the Raiders aren't good, but yeah, what are they down to? Amir Abdullah as a running back? Like that's rough. That's rough. So Corbin, do you want any of these passing props?
I want Aiden O'Connell to throw an interception. I'm surprised neither of you have touched on it in the slightest. He's coming off an injury. He's barely played. He's thrown one in the 2 games that he slightly did feature in this year, and the 2 that he barely didn't feature. He's going to be playing from behind likely. I think him to throw an interception is a great piece, quite honestly. So.
Okay. All right. You're right. We missed that one. So let's move to receiving props. Bears and the Lions. Just be careful about playing Amon-Ra St. Brown over 70.5 with him coming off the injury. So that's kind of my one concern. What do you think about this one, Jim?
I would not be looking at St. Brown's yards. Definitely.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to see a giant amount of volume. They'll use him in his spots, his design plays. If I'm going with the wide receiver, I'm going with Jameson Williams at the 48.5. Big play potential as well. And we've seen with this Lions team at home, it's just one big play away from one of these guys going 50. Yeah. So, I mean, you could literally get this on 2 receptions with Jameson Williams. I don't know if they're going to, I mean, we've seen the Lions really, they always commit to the run game, but Goff gets his, man. And like I was saying last week, there's all this, I think they're really focused on getting Goff the recognition he deserves. And this offense is just so catered to him and his skill set. So I would be looking at Jameson Williams. I thought about the Gibbs last week. He didn't have much run in the receiving game at well. Also, they didn't have to. You know, he ran the ball like crazy. So I would be looking at Jameson Williams over 48.5, if anything. One big play down the field. They take a shot with him once a game. If they get it, you could hit it in two receptions.
Okay. Are you interested in sack props in this game at all, Jim?
Nobody's out yet. I am, but they literally have nothing listed.
So we need to wait for
I will be looking at Smith.
Okay.
Yeah, we will be looking at Smith.
Corbin,
44 times is this is Tommy DeVito 2023 territory, right?
Corbin?
My favorite pieces actually in this game, I love Tim Patrick over 21.5. So he's got much more involved the last 2 weeks. Last week had 4 receptions for 55 yards, and the week before 3 receptions for 26. I'm gonna wait and see what the reception line comes out, because if it comes out at 2.5, I would prefer that to the 21.5, which is what I feel like it's going to be. But I think they're just getting him far more involved. If St. Brown's slightly banged up, Tim Patrick seems to be that second, third, fourth kind of range option where he's still getting involved. And I love those trends where you can get on like the first and second week, and he could quite easily have 3 receptions for the rest of the year and go under the radar. So that's the one I'm looking at.
Detroit's been really good against the pass. Last 3 games, only giving up 164 yards. So I was kind of curious about these numbers on DJ Moore and Keenan Allen. Like, it's kind of one of the it's like recency bias that they've had a couple of big weeks. I mean, the fact is Keenan Allen has gone over this 50.5 once. It was last week when he had 15 targets. So you're going, is this going to be a trend that continues, or is Keenan Allen, like, are we going to regress back here? And DJ Moore is kind of the same way. He's gone over. He's had 14 targets the last 2 weeks. And he's caught all of them. Like, how often is that going to keep up, or how much is that going to keep up? So I'm a little nervous about taking some of these overs, especially if Detroit. And Jim, what were you saying about
Davis.
Detroit? Now, well, no, not winning on Thanksgiving.
Oh.
And this is
This
a
is
Dan Campbell specialty.
2016. That's the last time they won on Thanksgiving, and they play Thanksgiving every year. So, I mean, this is a monkey on their back that they're looking to get off.
Yeah,
and not just get off, but like emphatically.
sure.
This smells like one of those. If they're up, they're not taking the foot off the gas. They're just not. I had a question for both of you on this. What do we think about this DeAndre Swift 14.5?
I love the
I have no
numbers where it
opinion.
only needs one,
Right?
to get over, but
Do
yeah,
we
I don't
trust
know.
the competency of the Bears offense to recognize that they need to get rid of the ball fast on these dump off passes to Swift?
No.
No, I don't.
Maybe accidentally, but I don't trust them to have a game plan to do that.
Like
They're the
garbage
Bears.
time, they're down by 30, they have a possession. He gets 25 yards receiving en route to an interception by
I could see it, but am I confident enough to play it?
No.
No, I don't have the onions. So Giants and the Cowboys. I'll start off and say that I was interested in Malik Neighbors until I saw the 6.5. I think they're going to attempt to feed him the ball, but I mean, if you're the Cowboys, don't you're just blanketing Neighbors. He's kind of all they have here. So, CD Lamb 6.5. That seems high as well. So in the end, this is just the pass for me. Corbin, do you like any of these?
I like Dowdle over 2.5 receptions. You were just on it. He's over in 4 of the last 5 games, and the offense has to come from somewhere. Like, the Giants are going to do their best to try and lock up CD Lamb. I don't think they're going to be able to lock anyone up for the rest of the year, quite honestly. But Rush likes a check down to Dowdle. You've seen that the last couple of games. I think 2.5 is pretty good for
Good
that,
find.
considering they're going to need some options on offense. So,
Jim?
It's interesting. We're both going to running backs with different ones. Tyrone Tracy in this game. 10.5 receiving, love it. 1.5 receptions, love that too. Reason being, again, I expect the Cowboys to be up. I expect them to do their best to lock down Neighbors. Where's the offense coming from?
Yeah.
There's got to be some kind of stats going on here. I think Tyrone Tracy is the focal point of this offense. It's obviously not going to be DeVito. So if you are the Giants and you have half a brain, you know that you have to give Tyrone Tracy some touches here. And if they can't run the ball, they're going to give him touches in the passing game. I think these numbers are too low. I love the 1.5 receptions. I know it's minus 185, but I don't think it's going to be a Devin Singletary game.
No.
They're going to want to see what they have from Tracy the rest of this season. It looks like they have someone who can be a legitimate starter in this league. I like this kid's game. I really do. He's been very productive. Yes.
Tracy got 4 receptions last week as well, which it might be a good spot to watch a trend because the weeks before that he had like 1, 2.
Yeah, and he was coming
It's
off
not.
of he was hurt, didn't get a whole lot of things.
This
And then
might
he
be
had
a
different
good bounce
quarterbacks.
back spot. So I like that, Jim. I like.
Yeah,
that.
I like him in the receiving game this week.
Jim, I applaud you. I missed this one, and this is a great play. Great play. Yeah, I like that one. All right, Dolphins and Packers. Corbin, your team might be the most. There's no chance to play a receiving
Yeah,
on your team.
you can't. You can't pick. Don't even waste your. I did it. I was like, So if like Rams or someone locks up Reed, then is it? But then I was like, is it Wicks next or is it Watson? But Watson will probably get injured with his hamstring again, and it's like
in the cold weather. It's just
and then
unplayable.
I was like, Kraft. Oh, Kraft's been doing well, but then like it's kind of 31.5's kind of in that right zone. And then I was like, they're probably just going to run the ball and kill the clock and control the time of possession with Jacobs. So yeah, don't pick. It's not worth the stress.
I agree 100%. Jim?
Anybody interested in an Odell Beckham Jr. prop in 2024?
I mean,
No, I'm just jokingly.
well, no, you make the joke. I would love his under. He had 3 targets and no catches last week. He had 13 yards against Vegas. Somehow he had 17 against the Rams, who appear to be one of the worst defenses. And then he randomly had 15 yards against Buffalo. This is a guy that's had 15 targets all year, 7 catches for 45 yards. Yeah, you could talk me into an under on Odell.
Like, just hold your nose and just play the under.
Yeah, absolutely. So, it's funny, like, Odell's still playing, but if you watch the Manning cast on Monday Night Football, there's like old retired Eli Manning, and they constantly show the replay of Eli throwing it to Odell with the big one-handed catch, and Odell's still playing, and Eli's, looks like he's a million years old on that one. So, all right, Raiders at Chiefs. We have no line on Noah Gray. Gosh dang it. Yeah, I know. I don't like any of these. I guess Brock Bowers, but man, if you're the Chiefs, aren't you just locking down Brock Bowers? Who on the Raiders scares you besides Brock Bowers, Corbin?
Absolutely no one. Not in the slightest.
Yeah. Jim?
Again, you pick your poison. Bowers or Myers. One of these two are going over just because of pure garbage time receiving stats. That's it. One of the two. So I would look at playing the lower number. I will say this, and I'm probably going to get yelled at, but I'll play the narrative. This Travis Kelce, touchdown away. I'm telling you.
God.
It screams such a
Andy, just mute him. Just mute him and move on.
Doesn't it? So haven't got there yet, but he did score against the Raiders earlier this year. I wouldn't be shocked to see Kelce in the end zone on Black Friday, Thanksgiving, national audience. Is Taylor there? Chiefs like to have fun with Travis on special occasions.
There are some miserable spots here for traveling teams. I mean, like the Giants, at least they're playing indoors, but on Thanksgiving, having to play when your team is just absolutely sucks. You have the Miami Dolphins going to Green Bay. Who scheduled that?
Someone that wanted the Packers to win.
Yeah. And then the Raiders having to go to Kansas City the day after Thanksgiving. Those are some bad spots for away teams. So
I wonder what the parlay on all the 4 home teams to win combined is.
Oh,
Lions, Cowboys, Packers, Chiefs.
I could pull that up. I mean, you never go wrong laying chalk in the NFL.
Yeah, right.
That's the good news.
Here we go.
All right, let's see here.
I wouldn't play it. I just want to see what it ends up.
That's a good number.
Plus 245 is not too bad. One of them's going to trip us up, but it's not terrible. There's your miserable traveling team. The Bears Detroit's not terrible. The Bears traveling to Detroit's not awful. But playing Detroit, if they just keep their foot
playing
on their
Detroit
throat,
at home is awful.
That's awful. But yeah, like
Amen.
Yeah, that's really interesting. That's a very interesting play at plus 245. Put a comment. Let us know if you're playing this one.
I might have to sprinkle it now. It's enticing.
I will say this: if you guys know, I preach bankroll management, and that's a fun one to have just a sprinkle on to follow all day. See, Corbin, this is what makes Thanksgiving great.
Yeah.
Is since Corbin has no idea what Thanksgiving is like. You need to do things to entertain yourself at these Thanksgiving gatherings, rather than having old uncles and grandparents like try and figure out the remote. So it's a great one to it's a great one. Jim's laughing because he knows exactly what I'm talking about. So, all right, yeah. Oh, the other piece of Thanksgiving that you don't get to experience, Corbin, is the craft beer family member who likes to.
The worst.
I didn't even have to go into detail. There's always one family member that loves craft beer way too much and likes explaining it to you, and you have no idea what they're talking about. You're like, can I just go grab some of that horrific Jello dessert that someone brought? I thought that was a good idea. Me and Jim are trying to explain to Corbin how Thanksgiving works over here, and I think we're being accurate, but Corbin's going, I can't believe you guys celebrate. like
just
this.
wait till Christmas. It's too close to Christmas.
No, this is better than Christmas.
Thanksgiving
it's
is
way
so
cheaper.
Much better.
Way cheaper.
Absolutely. All right, let's go over some receiving props, and Corbin's going to give out parlay of the week.
We just did receiving. We're not going over them again, are we?
Sorry, rushing props. All right, so you, Corbin, I know you got Gibbs coming up a little bit later, so Jim, I'll go to you. Do you like any of these rushing?
No, I'm with Corbin. I'm where he's at. Do we go the Jared Goff under 1.5?
No, he's kind of been taken off a couple times.
He's not as immobile as
Kirk Cousins.
Those kneel downs. When do we get those kneel downs at the end for -7? I don't know.
Well, that's true.
Not going to get there.
I'm not going to get there. No. Giants and Cowboys. I like Rico Dowdle at 67.5. Again, just pounding this in. I think the Giants just have the look of a team that's not really playing that hard. And Tampa, if you guys didn't watch that Tampa Giants game, it was alarming.
It was bad.
Alarm. And so they're going to fix it from Sunday to Thursday. I don't know. No way. Jim, do you like Tyrone Tracy rushing, or do you just like that receiving number? Okay.
No, I like his low receiving numbers. I think they might have to abandon the run at some point. I know Dallas is wretched against the run, but I mean, you have to think they're going to stack the box and try to take him away rushing. Yeah. Especially if they have a lead. They're just going to stuff the box.
All right. Corbin, you like any of these?
I've got Dowdle coming up in a minute. I'll save my bit on that.
All right.
I'll go narrative for one thing here. I know it drives Corbin nuts.
Can't wait.
Right? It's Thanksgiving. Which Dallas Cowboy always scores?
Oh, Zeke.
Elliott.
Oh.
Plus 340.
Oh, that's a great one. Mm-hmm. Oh. All right. Mm-hmm. You're forgiven for your
He'll
Travis
jump in that
Kelce.
Little UNICEF.
Yeah, the big see, this is the one you should have mentioned, Jim, not the Travis Kelce.
To it. We weren't
this
there
is a good one. Bravo. The
right?
Tracy receiving and the Zeke to score.
You done well, Jim.
If they get it down inside the 3-yard line, yes, it's going to be Zeke.
Especially if the game's out of reach. Like, Zeke, trot your old
the whole stadium going,
get a
Zeke,
1-yard TD.
Zeke,
yeah.
There's like 6 people behind him just pushing him in. just get in there.
It'll be the Zeke push.
Yes. Yeah. That's a great one. I'm jealous of you, Jim. Those are some really good ones.
That's a fun Thanksgiving play.
Yeah. Yeah. Corbin, I like your boy Josh Jacobs over 73.5. I'll let you talk about him.
Well, I was just looking it up because I forgot to do Jacobs, but he's gone over this total in the last 5 weeks straight, and now you're getting a cold weather game against the Dolphins rush defense, which is meh. It's not great, it's not bad, but I think, as I mentioned earlier, I think we're going to try and control the time of possession. It stinks of that kind of game for us where Jacobs is going to run for like 18 to 25 amount of times, and the sheer volume should get him over this total, quite honestly. So I really like it. I wonder, can you go to his rush attempts as well? I'm just wondering what number that's at.
17.5. Yeah, we called it on Derrick Henry about how the narrative set up great for Derrick Henry to fly over. I think it sets up well for Jacobs here too.
Yeah, I prefer the yards to the. I feel like he could get the yards without the rush attempts, but you can't get it the other way around. So,
are you really excited to tackle if you're a Miami Dolphin in this weather, man? When you're used to Miami, I don't know. I think it's rough. Jim, any rushing takes?
I want to stay extremely far away from Josh Jacobs.
No.
There, in my opinion, I'll give the hindsight, the opposing view on this. Everybody knows about Josh Jacobs after last week. The whole world does. And yeah, it's a prime spot. Everything about this place is over 73.5. It's going to be probably the most public bet on this. I worry about this being a pooper.
I don't know if Jacobs is that kind of big enough name to.
It's just it being on Thanksgiving and being a standalone game. I think this number is going to go up as well. So, like, I don't hate it at 73. If this number gets up towards 80,
do you not think
that kind of worries me?
Do you not think the public will just see Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and just go for them over Jacobs?
No,
I know if I'm
at temperature.
I was going to say.
Do most people know that? Would you say the general public are going?
I'll give the public credit.
I'm saying if the public looking at betting this game and going, oh, it's really cold. That means it's going to be a running with Josh Jacobs, or they're just going to see Tyreek Hill and go, oh, that will be fun and go with him.
I think it'll be the other way, just because of what's been talked about all week. It's cold. Miami's got to travel. It's cold. It's cold. It's cold. Well, what do I want? Oh, if it's cold, they should be able to pound the rock. I'm not saying it doesn't hit. It's just after such a big game that he had last week, that's what worries me. It's like like we always say, getting on the train too late.
Yeah.
That's just what worries me. No bet for me at all on this, just my opinion.
I think this is a great time to do my annual reminder. And I know people think I'm a stick in the mud. I know I'm no fun, Andy. I'm just, do not be the guy who's drunk at Thanksgiving and is firing off same game parlays on the late game. Put your bets in before the drinking has started, and then enjoy the day. Do not be the guy that's sitting there with the uncle or the cousin that's like, well, I have A-Chain and fantasy. I think he's going over. Oh, then you pull out your phone and like fire off. Just don't do that. Like if you have the urge because you're absolutely bored at Thanksgiving, don't do that. If you've had too much sauce, I don't mean gravy, just put the phone away. Do not be firing off any same game parlays after a certain amount of alcohol has been consumed, because I will guarantee that DraftKings and FanDuel are like licking their chops. Once the 7 o'clock rolls around, the amount of same game parlays that are coming in on the Dolphins-Packers game is going to set records. So if you find yourself doing that, just remember your boy. Andy's got your back. Don't do it. Put your phone away. Like
Uncle Andy.
Yeah. Don't hit send. Can I steal that one? Don't hit send. Don't do it. So
there's two things that DraftKings already has out: same game parlay profit boost, okay, and anytime touchdown score parlay boost.
Amazing. They know their audience very, very well. They know damn well what's going to happen tomorrow. So, all right, Corbin's going to give out an alt game parlay of the week, but if we're playing it sober. Remember that. Very, very important. So, just want to let you guys know here, in all seriousness, though, we do have a 7-day special. It's marked down to $69. It's one of the most popular promos that we do at Wager Talk every single year. I encourage everyone to go grab that. It's a PFL championship week. We have our college football best bet on Friday. We have 4 football games before the weekend even starts. We have NBA. We're 9-2 in the NBA. We have an NBA play that goes off tonight. We're recording this on Wednesday. And any plays that you have coming up this weekend, Formula One week. So there's a lot of things going on over the next 7 days, and we don't run promos on 7-day specials very often. So really lock this in. It's only $69, and you'll get all of our plays. We are ready for your alt play, Corbin.
Yes. Right.
Walk us through it here.
Yeah, so there's 3 pieces to this. The first piece I'm going to talk about is the Lions money line. Bears have lost 5 straight, although they've showed some fight in those losses, the last 2 particularly to my Packers and the Vikings. I wonder if the fact that they fought back and they still didn't get over the line, I wonder if that's going to knock them back again. They just don't I don't think they have enough confidence going into this game. I don't think they have enough defense. I don't think they have enough offense to keep up. Division game, the Lions need it to stay on top and just keep pounding that momentum. So that's the first piece. Second piece is Jahmyr Gibbs to get 50 plus rushing yards. He's gone over this total in every game since week 1. He has so much speed. He has so much consistency. Short week. There's no need to overcomplicate it. Have some fancy game plan. Just run it with Gibbs. Montgomery's got a slight injury. I love that. That's probably my favorite piece out of all 3. And then Rico Dowdle to get 40 plus rushing yards. He got 86 last week on 19 rushes. That to me showed that they've realized that they're not going to win games or keep it close by throwing with rush to Lamb every time. They're gonna have to run the ball to stay competitive. Obviously had 19 rush attempts last week. He had 46 rushing yards in the head-to-head earlier in the year. I love all 3 of these pieces together for minus 131. And if you don't like any piece, say you don't want the Lions money line, you can easily tie in a Josh Jacobs that we just mentioned. We liked him at 73. You could easily get him at 50 at basically the same price. So yeah.
All right. Love it. Good stuff. All right, Corbin, I have a little surprise for you. You didn't know we were going to do this. How many things can you name that are part of a traditional American Thanksgiving
Oh God.
dinner?
Oh, this is great.
Maybe like 2.
Go for it.
Come on.
Oh God. Turkey.
There's one.
Gravy.
A cat.
1.5.
No.
1.5. It's more of a condiment. It's not really.
Why don't you just say ketchup?
I don't know what else.
Turkey.
The potatoes. I don't know.
It's good.
Okay.
There's always mashed potatoes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Why do I feel like it would be so American if it's like mac and cheese?
That counts.
It's some parts of the US. Yeah.
Oh God, I'm flying.
Just name carbs. Nothing green.
I don't know anymore.
Okay. So, Jim, you can help me out with this.
Here we go.
Okay, so stuffing.
Mm-hmm.
We literally, Corbin. Just imagine if we just take a loaf of bread, we just grind it and squeeze it up and stuff it right in the turkey, and then put it in the oven. That's an actual thing that we do that everyone loves.
Okay.
How would you like some purple with your?
Oh yeah, you missed a big one, man.
Have you ever had cranberry
once
sauce?
a year?
No.
So 100% of cranberry sauce sales comes this week. There's nothing more seasonal than cranberry sauce.
And you actually usually have a can from the previous year in your cupboard anyway.
Yeah, it comes.
So
if you don't make it fresh, it comes out of the can, and we just serve it with the lines in the cranberry sauce from the can. And you
guys are animals.
I'm sending Corbin
listening
pictures
to?
of our food. You definitely got to know.
Here's
Sweet
another
potato casserole.
Sweet potato casserole. We also take green beans, but we don't leave them alone. We take a can of cream of mushroom or cream of whatever soup, and we dump it actually on the green beans. Oh no, it gets better.
It's delicious. Hold on.
And then we take crispy onions, but we don't actually crisp the onions. What we do is we buy a can of crisp onions.
Thinking a can. Every item so far is like, and from a can.
And then we dump that on the green beans, completely ruining.
I can already tell what this comment section is going to be about.
Look, all you need is turkey, mashed potatoes, and gravy. That's the main course. Everything else.
It's the main course.
And not to mention, there's also about how many pies usually? 4?
Everyone thinks
never.
And then there's somebody that always brings cookies. for some unknown reason.
Yeah.
This is some very weird combinations going on in my head. We've gone from
only on
mashed potato to
Thanksgiving.
cookies.
That's it. Next year we're doing a live video. We're gonna fly Corbin in for Thanksgiving.
Make him eat.
And
And
he's
make
gonna
him
think it's
sit.
the worst holiday in the world, and by the end he's gonna love it.
Just
You're
load
gonna
me up
love
with
He's gonna
tins
love
of random stuff to start eating.
And every
Jesus.
year we sign up to do it all over again.
And you don't just eat once.
Guys, you haven't really sold
You
it to
eat
me
all
so
day.
far. You've told me all these weird foods and then creepy people and old people. Old people can't work in controllers. Like
I'm
you're
not
really
wrong.
not. You're really not selling it to me in
I'm
the
not wrong
slightest here,
about.
guys.
I'm not wrong about this.
Last year, my parents somehow changed my TV to talk for like if you were blind. So if you hit like volume, it was like volume up 1, volume down, and I couldn't figure out how to turn it off. I unplugged the TV, it still did it. We had to get the other TV from the other room and bring it into the living room. These are
Yeah,
the things that
I'm here in Indianapolis, and it'd be like, "Hey, can we turn the TV on to watch the football? Do the Colts play? No, they've never played on Thanksgiving. They do not play today. We just turn the TV on." So yes, all right. Well, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Leave
Enjoy
a
it.
comment. Leave a comment with more foods that we missed. Try and describe them to Corbin because yeah, watching Corbin. Watching us trying to describe Thanksgiving to Corbin is quite the thing. So, all right, guys, good stuff. Good luck on your plays, and remember, be careful with the intoxicated betting on Thanksgiving. Protect that bankroll. Good luck on your plays. We'll see everyone later.
enjoy your
Good
holiday.
luck.